everyone. Hope you're doing okay out there and made it through all the rain and storms that we had, and the mosquitoes haven't been bothering you too bad. I know they're horrible here in my house. For those who are just joining me, I'm Nicole Pilson, the Matagorda County Marine Extension Agent, and I'm so happy you chose to watch this little video in your spare time. So I thought, because it's going to be Memorial Day weekend here coming up, we could try something a little different than your traditional burger. We're going to try some crab burgers. So come on in and let me show you what ingredients you'll need. It's super easy. You're going to need 1 large egg, lightly beaten, 3/4 a cup of mayonnaise, 1 1/4 teaspoon of Cajun seasoning, and 3/4 a teaspoon of ground mustard. You're going to need a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, about 3 green onions, thinly sliced. You're going to need in total 1 3/4 cup of breadcrumbs. I have 3/4 of the cup in this bowl and then 1/4 a cup in a shallow bowl so we can coat the burgers. And of course, our star of the meal here is our lump crab meat that I picked up from a local shop here. And you're going to need 16 ounces. Okay, this recipe could not be easier. We're literally throwing everything into the bowl. You're gonna form your patties, put them in your little skillet, and call it a day. Pretty easy. So we're going to start by putting in our mayonnaise, our onions, our seasonings, our egg, and our Worcestershire sauce, and then we'll add in our breadcrumbs, and then we'll fold in our crab meat. So, as you know, you can buy crab meat at your local store, at your local bait shop, and it's always really good to do it that way because it takes out all the trouble of sifting through crab meat yourself if you catch it. If you do catch your own crabs, you're allowed 6 traps per license. So you can go out there and get your own and break them down. And usually I do like to do that, but you know what? Time was not on my side, so I did not choose to do it that time. When you're breaking down your crabs, make sure you get all that nice meat out of there, and you're careful not to get too much shell and cartilage in there. I know accidents happen, and it's hard after breaking down all those crabs. Some just sneaks in. So what I did is, when I bought my crab meat, even if you buy it, I go through, as I'm putting it into a different bowl, I just kind of gently rub it through my fingers and make sure I pick out any cartilage or shell that might have accidentally slipped into the tub with the meat. That way you don't get that unpleasant bite of cartilage or shell. It won't hurt you, but it's not real tasty. All right, let's add our Worcestershire. I'm almost out here, so just enough. And then we're gonna mix this real quick. All right. So I bet you could do these on the grill, put down some foil and spray some nonstick spray. If your house looks anything like mine right now, your ground is saturated in water and you are covered in mosquitoes. So I'm in the safety of my house right now. But I bet on the grill they'd be pretty good too. But definitely lay down some foil because I could see them potentially falling apart. And you don't want that. You either spent the time to catch your crabs or you spent the money to buy them, so you don't want to lose your patties. Okay, that looks pretty good there. Now I'm going to go ahead and add our beautiful meat here. Okay. All right. And we're just going to fold it in because, again, you don't want to break up that meat too much. You want to keep them whole. All right. Mixture mixed together. So we're going to form them into about 4 1/2-inch thick patties. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to form them, and then I have that cup of remaining breadcrumbs in this bowl. I use Italian seasoned ones. Use whichever you already have on hand, and we'll coat them so they get a nice crust. And I'm going to put them right into my skillet that's over medium heat. And I have about 1/4 a cup of vegetable oil in there. And we'll see if I can fit 2 in the pan. Let's see how this goes here. This looks really good. All right. The mixture is going to be quite sticky and wet at this point. That's okay. We'll coat it in those breadcrumbs and that'll help hold everything together. All right. What do we think? Is that about half an inch? Looks good. All right, put this little guy in there. Ooh. And then we'll gently scoop him out. Try to shake off some of that excess. Reform him a little bit. I've never been good at forming hamburger patties, and in this case, crab patties. So that's all right. I'm gonna place this guy in here. Okay, I'm gonna dust off my hands real quick here. There we go. All right, I'm gonna make another one to get in this pan here, and see you in a second. Two burgers. I made them maybe a little too big and a little too thick, but I've never heard anyone complain about a crab burger that's too big. So it should be okay. They did take about 4 to 5 minutes on each side to get nice and golden brown. I pulled out some toppings to dress my burgers with when they get done. You can use your favorite traditional hamburger toppings, or you can mix it up and make it a little different. I chose some arugula, I had some pickled onions, I'm gonna put some nice bell pepper on top. Get creative, whatever you have in your fridge and pantry is probably a-okay. I'm gonna stick my last two on here. And then of course you can pick your favorite hamburger side. I chose some sweet potato waffle fries. I'm gonna get these coated. And just for your knowledge, you probably don't need a cup of breadcrumbs in your bowl here to coat them. You could probably put a little less, so there you go. That's some tips there. And that's why I haven't been recruited from Food Network yet, because nothing that I do is perfect. And I hope that you out there can relate to my very homegrown videos over here in recipes. All right, my last one looking good. Apparently I don't know how to judge a ½ inch on these, so they're a little giant. All right, I'm gonna rinse my hands off and I'll see you in a little bit. All right, all 4 patties are cooked. They look really great. When I pulled them off the skillet, I put them on a little cooling rack so the oil could drain. You could also just put them on some paper towels. I dressed my buns with a little bit of mustard. Again, put whatever you like for traditional hamburgers. Let me see if I can get this off here. I did salt them as they came off the skillet. That's optional. So we have our burger there. Mine are a little bit bigger than my buns, but that's okay. So everyone has some gardens about now. So if you have some like garden tomatoes or anything, definitely slap those on there. None of my tomatoes are ready yet. So if you have tomato tips, definitely give them to me. I don't know what I'm doing, I guess. So I have some pickled onions that I've made. I have this beautiful bell pepper ring that I'll put on there. And I made some sweet potato fries. So I'm gonna just put on a few there. Maybe some more. Okay, like 1 or 2 more. All right, perfect. And we'll put a little lemon slice because seafood is always great with some lemon. And there you go. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Let me know if you try it out, and I will see you soon. Have a safe Memorial Day weekend.